if it's on carry.
Yeah, say it's
Okay, if monkey carry.
You're playing around Monkey King here.
Sure, I don't think they were as dominant with it last game. Okay, so you want to play fast with Monkey, right?
Okay,
Monkey's strength is that he is able to be mobile across the map. He can jump across trees. He can TP bot and then be mid within the next minute. So that's like what you want to do with a Monkey. You want to enable that. You want to have some catch, some setup for him to be there and get ready. You also want stuff to keep people in the ring because you're dealing damage in the ring. It's not like a zoning ring of some support monkey with no damage. This guy's gonna have items. If you're fighting in it, you're dead.
Right.
So something like Pango works well with that. I definitely would like the ability to give monkey space to farm though. So something that just fights like spirit mid type hero.
Banning right now, right? The Spirit Bros are great because they also have the catcher you mentioned, usually keeping people in the ring. They all have some sort of pull or at least roots. I guess Ember's the weakest one in that regard.
And so if they're playing it as a carry as well, I would like to see a very strong support on the lane. We saw Bane before, but it's banned now. Monkey is susceptible to dying if his support is very bad. But he's very strong if he has a strong support. Can't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you believe it? It's crazy. But some type of control, they could just pull a disruptor out. He's not bad. He could die to Mars Willow, but
he could do Lich.
He could do
Disruptor, Undying, Ogre. Those kind of just like in-your-face kind of heroes that will make sure to win the lane. I think Lina is an important ban for TNC right now. Thank you. Ban the Lina.
Well, can you explain the logic behind that?
I think a couple things. Well, first of all, MTG just really like Lina. And then the other thing about it is that they already have Pango to initiate, and they've got this zone area of Monkey King. MTG likes having Monkey King Lina quite a bit as a combination. Yep. I think in many ways it basically means they would have two frontliners, and you also, like, if the Lina's sitting inside of Wukong's command, like, do you feel good about, like, going after her in that area? Probably not. So I think there are just a lot of combinations that they just fit naturally together.
There's a Train Protector, by the way. Last time they picked this was also against a Pango. And Cap, you were talking about the idea that, oh, look, it's like the same thing Grimstroke does. Actually, it does stop the Pango. It was not very effective, though.
Yeah, I think one of the big problems I had with that Train Protector is just roaming around is kind of like, ugh.
On the Ogre, and there's the Deucer you were talking about, Sheeple.
They like the Deucer.
Do you think this is do you think this is Q Monkey King now?
Most likely.
Well,
yeah,
actually,
they do play it. That's what I was doing while Sheep was having her ran. I was like, does Q play Monkey King? And he does, and he played it recently for MTG. So,
what would the other option be? Would be like mid, I suppose. Or Masteros, I guess, could play it.
Yeah.
It just feels like 4 is the only real viable option. The OD now picked by TNC. I know we're not the biggest fans of OD here.
No, I love OD. Big fan. Let's go.
Sorry. It's just Cap.
It's
why
my
you?
favorite hero of all time.
The sarcasm is permeating here.
I actually really don't like it for how I think you're not going to be able to do anything to Pango. And he's just going to roll through your arena and he's going to disrupt it. And OD is like, if you look at how they itemize, it kind of feels bad for you to buy like, you might go Meteor Hammer or you might go some Pike or something. And then you instantly have to go BKB. And I feel like against Motivate.Trust lineup, you have to go BKB. Also, you can't stand and hit into Medusa's ult. So everything OD wants to do, it feels very difficult in the face of that lineup. But maybe they feel that they've prepared this as an answer to Medusa. They're not stupid. They've looked at Motivate.Trust. They know they like to run Wraith King. They know they like to run Medusa. And they specifically let Medusa through this game. So
Is OD good against Medusa because you can take away her mana, or is he bad against Medusa because your ultimate is based off of the difference between your two mana pools?
I don't think he takes away enough for it to be justified, right?
Yeah,
before
I don't think
maybe
so.
when the orb actually took, right? But now it's just the astral.
No, it's just that. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was just like, is there something that I don't? Because I feel like Saturday's Eclipse just isn't going to ever do anything to Medusa. So
he does right click hard.
Yeah, that's true. And Medusa does struggle against like big single target damage like
and
that.
they have a Drow as well on top of that now.
Yeah.
So Drow and OD together are going to be a pretty scary ranged core duo.
I never like seeing these ODs if I don't know my matchup. Whoever your OD player is, I think you want to know your matchup. I think you want to be able to find some melee hero that is going to get 100 to 0'd once you have a Meteor Hammer. But I am open-minded to different builds on OD. In fact, I think it's probably the only way forward for the hero. So we'll see what happens here. But I'm looking at this lineup from MTG. I think they're just going to play pretty fast. And
I think their net worth is going to be topping the charts again.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if they're capable, if this time TNC is capable of forcing a game 3, or if indeed Motivate.Trust to repeat the same thing. Again, we're going to have the second game going on right now, casted by the same casting pair we've had all day, the beautiful voices of GoDz and lizZard.
Thank you, Avo. It is time now for our potentially last game of the day, potentially not. That's up to TNC, really, or maybe also up to Motivate.Trust based on last game. We're going to see if TNC can force a game 3. lizZard, do you think they've got the right draft for it?
I think they got the right draft. I think they actually answered Motivate.Trust Gaming's draft fairly well. I'm still worried for them because they let go of this Duza. They let her through, and they're trying to answer it. They do have some ways. The Drow Ranger has been considered one of the counters or answers to the Medusa.
Okay.
Like we talked a bit earlier, like theoretically she is the counter, but when you look at her in practice, usually I see teams with Drow Rangers just fail and not perform well versus a Medusa.
And something you mentioned the first day we cast, especially in SEA. SEA teams and Medusa, there's like a special connection there that you've been saying.
Oh yeah, 100%. In the first season, literally even the lowest teams that got delegated would win versus winning teams such as Fnatic and Neon with the Medusa.
You. He's done.
I can take care of myself.
He was a
Walked
bit
in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah, just a little bit in the wrong neighborhood. Also, TNC doing the same thing again, just grouping up, going in. I feel like they do have decent lanes as well. Mid lane, OD versus Quap, we'll see how that goes. But Drow plus 3 and sounds scary. Like, it sounds pretty strong, even versus Monkey and Pango.
Yeah. Have you seen much OD in your games or in compare? I mean, there was a lot. Yeah, one of the Eastern European games had OD Pudge 3 games in a row. But how do you rate a hero like OD right now?
Yeah, I think he's fine. Like, you still go for the same build. It's not as broken as when the build was discovered, but I think the build is still fine.
Here we go. Both teams want to brawl. They want to fight for these runes. And Febby, well, he's the one positioned a bit too far up. He's got no backup whatsoever. He's been left to go down. Bounty Rune does go the way of TNC in the river, but they'll give up a kill in order to secure it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Febby went all in on the high ground there. If he has heroes that can follow him up, then great. Yeah, sure, go for it. But the heroes that are on his side, they don't really want to climb hills. Like, you have Drow Ranger, OD, generally considered very lazy, don't want to go into fog on high ground and lose all their HP.
We'll see how this top lane progresses, as it will be a Monkey King. Goes for the early point in Tree Dance, looking to secure that range creep. Gets it for Massive with the shield crash. And it's going to be a bit of a harass battle, it looks like. You mentioned, yeah, so you think Drow Treant should be able to hold their own here?
I felt like they should be completely fine. Okay. Comes a little bit down to the way Pango and Monkey play it out, but I feel the Treant is actually really legit in the lane at the moment. Also brings some extra things to the table that they didn't have in that last game, and that's control for the Pango, even through his Rolling Thunder, which can come in handy.
Yeah, that was definitely a problematic hero for them last game. Down bottom, TNC not trying to play the lane straight up, pulled some creeps behind up against the Medusa, but it's a Medusa with an Ogre, not an easy hero. Not really, it doesn't really feel like they can do much to stop this Medusa from farming with the Ogre there.
Yeah, Ogre is just such a beast.
Low. But has the creeps. And we'll push the OD back to tower. Yeah.
You want to control the OD, I guess, and punish him before he gets that ring of health. Once he gets it, it becomes more difficult.
Yeah, right now he's just sitting on the one Tango left to play the lane, so Quap, you got to imagine, yeah, has got the bottle rush coming out, so we'll have a bit of a regen advantage, especially, yeah, OD quite a ways away from that ring of health, so needs to get a couple of creeps soon, or this lane could get tricky. Down bottom, they've caught the ogre. Pushed them back, spear, but the bramble doesn't connect the second time, so Boombell should be alright here to get back to safety.
Yeah, he's a big boy. I just love the fact that Ogre Orb of Venom is back. It's just stupid combination. Like this hero ignites you, then hits you with Orb of Venom. You can't even move. If you remember back in the day when Orb of Venom was higher movement slope, it had higher percentage.
Yeah.
Orb of Venom and
more
ignite.
damage too, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
They're gonna get a kill here. Oh no, gets off the Shadow Realm just in time. They will be a kill. It's TNC's way. I thought it was about to go the other way. Nicely played by TNC.
I mean, if he had the dot on him still, like the ignite dot, maybe play hard or die, but he didn't, so he just Shadow Realms and survives. Well played by them.
Your way mid does have the Ring of Health finally coming out for him. His lane has been a bit of a struggle.
Lane.
Yep. Q.
Should be fine.
TP. And he'll go back to base. Able to bring out some items for his buddy if need be. Down bottom, Zhao Yu has got soaring here, but just getting zoned away as Jackie just having the free farm of his life here.
Yeah, it seems like they're doing quite alright on all of the lanes. On the side of Motivate.Trust again. Bottom lane doing well, mid lane Queen of Pain doing fine.
And Masaros once again playing his Pangolier. We saw last game how good he can be on this hero. You mentioned there's the overgrowth. Do you think that's going to be enough to kind of slow him down, or is it not quite sufficient?
It's not quite sufficient, but it's something, right? It's not some other things that can completely negate his presence, like a Bloodseeker.
Okay.
But overgrowth, at least you have something, right? So it's nice. Draw TP'd here. There's the result, there is. Okay.
Nice rotation mid from the Dark Willow. Stop the Queen of Pain from getting the runes. So now this Quap in a bit of trouble. Doesn't have any points in Blink yet. We'll hit level 5, so we'll see how he approaches his lane. Looks like he's going to go for the bottle refill of the bounty room, but over at top, we've got Q and Masa trying to contest Febby's pull. Both teams just poking and prodding for now. No crazy rotations.
Nothing really too incredible on the lanes, and you can't really expect it, right? You have these very passive safe laners on both sides.
Yeah.
However, bottom lane, Mars.
Yeah. Ogre's like, well, I'll get the kills by myself if need be, but the spear will push him away. But yeah, mid lane starting to swing the way of the OD. The first few levels, Quap had the edge, but now that the ring is out. And top lane, the Drow Treant. Yeah, you mentioned this combo. Ooh, okay. Mischief nicely dodged one frost arrow, but Treant was there to secure the kill.
And now bottom as well, Ogre.
All right, TNC. All across the map. Suddenly, all three lanes swinging a bit their way. Quap gets forced back to base. Quap's gonna TP bottom. What you up to, Gacha boy? This should... Well, he's got a raindrop here, but no, that shouldn't be enough. Bit of a surprise TP. I think there's no way he expected Fearless to be TPing bottom this early on.
Yeah, it's a level 5 Queen of Pain. You definitely don't expect that. I guess he realized that mid lane is kinda rough at the moment. The lane equilibrium was also in OD's favor, so he... that's a really good rotation.
Yeah. I like how the Mars tips COD.
Yeah, like,
he's like, bro, call missing. That's the pub. Mid didn't call missing and you're flaming him.
Yeah, thanks for the miss, bro.
I'm sure they're having a laugh about it. Like, he's probably like laughing like, what the hell is this Quap TPing bottom for? Like, who does that?
Yeah, 100%. For sure. Queen of Pain now with the Illusion Rune and the bounty on top lane might think about rotating again. Because the moment this Meteor Hammer is on, OD will start pressuring your tower. And that's the problem, right? Like he has a Karti there as well.
Monkey King, one of the maybe better heroes to back up because you can always cancel that. Like if Quap gets caught by an Astral, you can use the Boundless Strike similar to a Fissure to cancel the combo.
Click on OD. Do you see what he's doing? He's baiting. Yeah, he's baiting with the Meteor Hammer. He's had it for like a minute already, but he's baiting. Yeah, the courier is right there.
Sneaky, sneaky. I like it.
Yeah, it's a really nice heads-up play. In case Queen of Pain comes in, he uses Astral Imprisonment and sends the Meteor Hammer his way.
Quap sending the illusion though. Quap is ahead of the game. He's even microing it. He's trying to bait it.
That's a 5-head right there. Yeah.
He knows exactly what's going on, I think. Maybe he must have scouted it or something, or maybe he knows that Yoei's done this before, but now he's going to get the Meteor Hammer probably.
Look.
It worked. And now Quap is linking in. Oh, what a sick play. They need a way to cancel the TP. They haven't got it. I believe the TP maybe got canceled by someone. I'm not entirely sure who that was TPing in.
It was Pango, but he stopped it. He realized that there's not enough time for him to TP, and also he was rolling down.
Bottom. Zhao Yu in some trouble here with the Monkey King getting active. The spear does come out and gets the Monkey King low, and maybe a return kill for Playhard as Q gets bloodlusted up. Nice use of the mischief and has a salve too, so he's going back in. Jumping off the trees to bring down Playhard, and Q gives him the tip before he even dies. The mid-gank tip. As there was a kill too.
Yeah, this time around the Meteor Hammer did work. He had no illusions.
And hit him with the Sanity's Eclipse as well, so nice play from Yoei. He's taken over this mid lane now that he's got this Meteor Hammer.
Yeah, he's got that. He'll try to go top, it seems like, but Pango isn't really the easiest one to connect on with the Meteor Hammer. Let's see, maybe he manages to do it.
Shield crash on cooldown. That's to time it perfectly, and it will be perfectly hits him. Goes for the Rolling Thunder. That's going to stop that damage over time. Nice play from the Pango. Save his life.
Yeah, I think it's always like that. It connects, but you do swashbuckle away. If you time it properly on OD. I've seen this interaction happen many times. And a good Rolling Thunder, by the way. You called it nicely. He used it only to negate the damage. OD already on bottom lane, though.
And that's, a bit of a, at least, opening for TNC elsewhere that they don't have to worry about a TP Rolling Thunder. So, for about a minute, they can play a bit more aggressive down here.
Yeah, I think you really want to use that Meteor Hammer to take the tower. First, you have to push it in, though, and they're a little bit slow when it comes to doing that.
Yeah. Get things rolling now, but 4 heroes down here. You got to imagine this Motivate.Trust probably not defending this, but and they're the ones with the Medusa, and they can just fall back to farming if they want to.
Yeah, this time around, I think you don't defend. You're right. You just leave that lane, you go to the triangle, to the hard camps, and perhaps you try and trade mid.
Pango TP top, so they don't even have a TP on Massa, who's probably one of their stronger heroes. Mid lane, Febby trying to defend the tower. Could be in some trouble with the Sonic Wave Scream. There's an overgrowth. Febby's looking to turn this one, and as he got back up with the spear in the arena, he's kept himself alive and made an opening for Zhao Yu. Q on the run.
I'm telling you, this 3 and right now with the build, 3 levels of Leech Seed, without living armor, he heals so much right there. There's no way a 3, like a patch ago, he would die there 100%. Skilling living armor and whatnot.
Well, keeps himself alive, and Febby's put his team in a pretty good position with this draft and the play early on to potentially force a game 3, but the big question mark, the big if, is going to be this Jackie Medusa. It feels like the playstyle for Motivate.Trust so often is this 4 protect 1, and Medusa, one of the best heroes to do that with.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, you do have this Drow Ranger. That's the shining light for TNC.
Rolling Thunder top. Febby jukes into the trees, and Massa guesses wrong. He rolled right, and Febby gives him the tip saying, I believe I just juked you. Does he look to set up now?
He's going to lose the tower though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
he's pinging it. They want to go in. They want to fight this. He may get the tower, but will he pay the price? There's no Rolling Thunder, and they've caught Jack Boys here. The Gust is there. They bring in everyone. Young God needs to be a little bit careful, but looks like he's fine even out of mana, so they get the kill on Medusa.
Oh, they lose the tier 1, but you're fine with that. You were going to lose that tower anyway. You were just delaying it for as long as possible. And I like the heads-up play. No Rolling Thunder. Let's go. Let's fight.
Command being committed up top. Another arena coming out, but this time around Febby not going to be able to lead seed his way out of that one. He was a bit short on mana. As they will get the kill on the Pangolier. Gotcha Boy trying to just fight and bring down the OD. Yoei will end up being brought down.
Young God?
As Drow.
No way.
He survives. Will he? Oh, the spear off the mark. Q still chasing, looking for a boundless strike. Can he get close enough for it? He's fishing. They know he's coming. He's trying to chop it. Nicely
He
done by Zhao
cancelled.
Yu.
Yeah, he cancelled the last 3 dance. I felt like he had the range at one of those jumps, but yeah, he was really close at killing him off as well. It was only that Mars came in with a nice God's Rebuke to push him away. Yeah,
As far as where things are at right now. Yeah, it's been crazy, and that's not what you'd maybe expect from a Medusa Drow kind of, you know, 2 carries that just want to farm, but
I feel it's
from here.
I feel like it's the 2 cores on the mid lane, the OD and the Queen of Pain, that are really forcing the matter a lot. This Meteor Hammer allows OD to be so active.
That's exactly what, yeah, he's done with the rotation bottom and then also top. They didn't defend the tower, but like you mentioned, just getting the Medusa kill, well worth it.
One really nice thing as well for when you're running 2 cores such as these 2, OD and Drow, is to have heroes that go up front, right, and protect you. And you have 2 of those, not only Mars, but Treant with the Overgrowth.
Maybe caught Jackboys again, the Bloodlust gives him some extra movements. Whoa, Self-Astral, that was a misclick. I think he double tapped that.
Bait?
But he'll be okay.
Maybe a bait? Yeah, Mars was near. Just,
Maybe, yeah, the Mars, no Blink Dagger yet, but in the neighborhood. He was very close to catching the Medusa there, just maybe slightly out of astral range.
yeah, but by the way, 100% that was double click. It's happens. Another smoke though on the other side now.
Yeah, they look to be headed towards the Drow, maybe even into this Dire Ancients area. Get some wards down. But Massa instead going to go for the roll on mid. Blink in, they catch the OD, get the chain stun. Can they bring him down in time before he gets his defensive astral off? You betcha. Overgrowth comes, but it's a little bit too late. Instead, they've gone in on the Queen of Pain, but the blink out is going to keep him alive. He's stunned up. He finds a haste wound as well. The Medusa with the Stone Gaze will help Motivate.Trust disengage and also kill off the Willow. Looks like they're not done here. They want Young God, whose Drow could be in some trouble, has the Gus. But blinking in is Gotcha Boy. He's come back with some health from the bottle charges as well as a haste run, and he is just cleaning up. Just didn't have the damage to burst him during the arena.
Yeah, they're just so crisp in these team fights. The way they stack up spells and what they do is just too on point for Motivate. Like, they needed to stack every single stun properly to kill off the OD, and they managed to. Like, every single thing was there on point, pitch perfect.
Maybe getting a bit close. Boundless Strike was there to set up the follow-up, and Motivate.Trust using their vision and initiation perfectly once again.
Now they're taking over the triangle as well, right? And you can ward it up, you can take this area away from Drow and just set up for the next fight. But you don't have to. The fact is, you are running the Medusa lineup, so even though you're playing versus Drow, I think you're fine. You can just chill out, farm that Manta fight afterwards. I was surprised in that teamfight on mid lane that Treant wasn't there a bit faster to use the Overgrowth to save the OD. It all came a little bit too slow for TNC, and it feels like they're slow to react in teamfights, and then they push a little bit too far. They overcommit after they miss the initial go time, right?
Yeah.
They almost killed Masaros, but they didn't, and then they overcommitted, and because of that they got wiped. It's just a matter of seconds that they're being outplayed by.
I guess, I mean, the good side of that, maybe obviously this game not in the best position, is like they're making the right moves, it feels like. But if they were just a tiny bit quicker and responded and made these moves faster, then these fights could be going really well. Arena mid. Caught Queen of Pain on the edge of it, but he's going to be able to blink out before the Meteor Hammer hits. Umbuel's chasing for more. OD getting Chain Stun here. The Rolling Thunder's there as well, and once again, Your Way getting brought down as Fabi's Overgrowth. A similar story to last time, perhaps you could say, coming a little bit too late. Zhao Yu on the front line's going to get brought down. Another Stone Gate just being used to control these team fights.
Yeah, exactly the same scenario again. You miss a couple of spells on that Queen of Pain. That is, you miss the Meteor Hammer follow-up, right? It wasn't perfectly timed. Yeah. You had to pre-channel it before the spear went in, and then it would be there. But yeah, they didn't manage to do that, and then the tree isn't around. He isn't close enough to disengage.
Feels like Febby's trying to finish his blink, and he's, you know, torn between being a bit greedy finishing his blink and also like, oh, my team's fighting, I need to be there. So trapped between two tough decisions.
I don't mind finishing the blink though. It's definitely necessary for him. But he is taking a little bit of space from his team as well.
This is giving Motivate.Trust a lot of room to get a lot of farm on this Medusa. Almost 3k gold difference between the Medusa and the Drow's net worth.
And he also has a steroid, right, in the form of Ogre. He hasn't really yet maxed out Bloodlust, but he's getting there. And once he has it, Medusa just hits so fast, so hard.
It's bad news for TNC.
And are you noticing the teams are getting BKBs very, very early? Like in a game such as this one, you're playing versus OD, but you're also playing versus Treant Protector. And there's a BKB on Queen of Pain, BKB on Monkey King almost completed.
Yeah, the support Monkey King. Definitely been a bit of a trend. I think with SCA particularly, these teams just love to fight so much that I guess the item just goes up in value.
It's definitely good. There's a lot of things that you can use that BKB for. But if Febby gets this Blink Dagger early enough, which it's already there, then he can mess their plans up. I like the Treant Protector versus BKBs a lot.
We'll see if that's something that can maybe turn these next few team fights. And those are the ones TNC feels like have to win. Or this game will quickly get out of hand. Cute. Maybe a little bit careful. Doesn't have the BKB yet. Gets caught in the arena. And it's Dark Willow going in with the Bedlam, doing a good amount of damage with the help of the Mars to finish off one. Can Masteros turn this one around? He's trying to roll his way through. Bit off the mark. Doesn't he play hard with the stun, but he'll come back to finish off the kill. One for one trade.
Little unfortunate for Masteros. I think he wanted Mars there as well, but he started rolling on the high ground and bounced instantly off the wall. So, or maybe he wanted to do that so he continues rolling in the opposite direction, but I doubt it. I think he wanted to catch both of them.
Once the Mars Arena committed, and after that, it looks like Motivate.Trust feel like they can just push this top tier 2 tower. While also even potentially defending bottom.
And Medusa is just getting that critical mass, right? Almost Skadi completed. Has that one ultimate orb already with the Manta, with the Dragon Lance. There is a ton of damage coming from the OD, however, if they can start the fights off properly and he can mass up that int. Mana.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Let's see if that's going to be the case. So even though this Medusa's ahead of them, you think heroes like Drow and OD can potentially match up even a farm Medusa?
Well, that's why they're picked, right? At least Drow. Like, this hero historically has been picked to get you that glass cannon that's able to deal with the Medusa.
That Drow could be in some trouble here. Masteros blinking in with the Rolling Thunder, no backup in the neighborhood. Easy kill for Motivate.
Yeah, and this is very simple, but for me...
Febby down bottom, he's being found as well. Queen of Pain, oh, maybe not. He used the Boundless Strike, so there's no stun. Okay.
No Yules on Queen of Pain, no Yules on Monkey, can't really catch him. And the fact they killed Drow so easily there, Febby wasn't around, that's the first thing. I feel like Febby needs to be there. If Drow is farming the triangle, he needs to be protecting her. But what I want to say is, Jackie on this Medusa, if you go into him on the triangle, he pops his ulti and most likely, even if he dies, you're going to lose one hero, right? Drow Ranger, if you catch her, she's just dead. I think that's a big difference between these two heroes.
Yeah. Definitely a reason we see a lot more of the Medusa than the Drow. We'll see if they can get this Drow to a point where she maybe feels a bit harder to bring down. The BKB, of course, the big piece of the puzzle that's maybe missing for that to happen. But even still, it's not going to be easy when the Chain Sun comes into play.
Yeah, that's Skadi plus Aegis already. So this is possibly even high ground potential from Motivate once they take it.
Yep.
But there is a smoke coming.
Can they get there in time? This Roche is falling fast. Does look like they're going to be a little late. They may be able to still take a fight. Yowe's smoke does pop. The high ground Q on Monkey King. in the perfect position to scout them out. Now Zhao Yu's gone in alone. He's got no backup whatsoever, so... With Aegis already down, the rest of TNC had decided to just give it up, or to not take the fight, that is, into an Aegis, but...
Yeah, he got completely cut off. Maybe he was trying to just snipe it or something like that. It goes in, but his team is way too far away and Aegis already fell.
I saw Febby for a second, but he blinked away.
I don't feel Jackie feels killable any longer.
Dire's middle tower
It's definitely
is under
possible
attack.
if you manage to perhaps spear him into the tier 4s or something like that, but even that can be problematic. You spear this Medusa and then she just pops her ulti and fights.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I'll take the tier 2 mid, and very methodical from Motivate.Trust. Perhaps, you know, learning some of those lessons from last game where things didn't go so well after they got a big early lead. Febby could be in some trouble down here as Q has made his way down here with the tree dance, so Febby tries to blink away, but he's still being chased, so gotta imagine
This chase though.
yeah.
Oh, TP.
Didn't realize the monkey still had vision of him. Good patience from Q.
Yeah, very well played. Just, it's so easy for Monkey to continue chasing the tree, and there are some heroes that just do that very well. Like Monkey King, Weaver with the Swarm as well can be very problematic for the tree, and just hate playing into them.
Dire's bottom tower is under
With
attack.
that, the last out of tower going to be what Motivate.Trust have their eyes on here.
Are scanning.
12k gold lead, only 24 minutes in the game, and they're about to have taken all these out of towers, so a bit more of a convincing lead than what we saw last game at this point, where their lead was mostly in the early game. And TNC,
Dire's bottom tower is
do they
under
have the
attack.
team fight that can answer Medusa, like some kind of spear into the base, or like how do they win a fight against an Aegis Medusa, if at all?
You have some combos. I think the best bet for you is to wait the Aegis to run out, but you do have some plays. You have the arena combo with the Terrorize. OD dishes out a lot of damage, and he shouldn't be underestimated as well. Same goes for Drow. So you can definitely hold the high ground, and I respect the discipline from Jackie and the boys.
See them playing around this mid lane, but there's a nice 4-hero arena. Is there some follow-up damage? There's enough to bring down Q. But the BKB on Giga Chad, keeping him alive and allowing him to get aggressive in the front lines. Defensive Astral there to help out Young God, but he's still in trouble, even with the BKB trying to TP back to base. That ain't gonna work, my friend.
That was perfect. Like that's from TNC. That was the most perfect engagement I think that you can expect from your teammates, and it still doesn't work because Medusa pops that ulti and she's unkillable. Like Drow and OD both got just stone gazed on top lane, on the high ground. I mean.
Well, off of that, they're gonna go for the mid lane of Rax here. The buffed up Medusa. Bloodlust. Just chipping away at these racks, possibly eyeing off top lane as well. Manta's out of the brambles, and not much TNC can do except watch.
I don't know how you approach this. Like, you asked me earlier, is there a way? Is there a chance? Is there, like, the honest
You
answer
said nodding. You
probably-
said waiting out ages, so they've got
Yeah.
a minute.
That's a very long minute, considering they're already sitting on your high ground.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is
Mars in the trees is like, okay, who can I spear? Okay, it's gonna be the Medusa. Let's push her in. Instantly, Pop comes jumping in for the counterplay. This Medusa has a Manta style and now a Lotus Orb as well. Does get caught in the overgrowth with the other way out, but she's just so tanky and still has the Aegis.
Yeah, it's just unkillable. Like this,
Yeah.
I've seen this exact scenario just so many times. Medusa gets this critical mass. You're playing into a Mars because Mars should be good versus her, right? He spears her into tier 4s even, and then she just stands there and kills your whole team.
Yeah, she says thanks for the help initiating.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they usually buy that edgy blink right now. On Medusa, one of the luxury items can be the blink.
Playing into Mars, no need.
Yeah, no need. He's gonna do it for you. Yeah.
Well, 2 full lanes. They have got a third to eye out in the bottom lane. They may not have an Aegis for this push, though. So we'll see if that sliver of hope is there for TNC. No BKB for Drow for 40 seconds, so perhaps Motivate.Trust say, screw it, let's just go for it. And with an Ag Scepter on Medusa now as well, that very likely is going to be the case. Thunder. Masaros not waiting around. Finds Young God. Here's an Astral for a defensive play here as Jackboy commits the Stone Gaze to something. Got for the Rolling Thunder. Hits as he comes out of the Astral. Blinking in with the Scream is Queen of Pain. Zoning them back into the fountain. And this is surely GG in 3, 2, 1.
Dire's bottom tower
No.
has fallen.
I tried.
Try again. 3, 2, 1. But there you go.
Close.
It worked.
Well, Motivate.Trust continue their winning ways. They're now 2 wins, no losses, and yet to drop a game. Pretty convincing, although, you know, we saw some slight sloppiness in game 1. I think this game a bit cleaner.
Perhaps they felt a little bit too strong in game 1 and tried to take some fights one hero at a time, which usually isn't the best way to play team fights in this game. And I'm actually pretty impressed by all of them. I'm impressed by Masaros the most. He only played Pango that I've been watching, obviously, but the change up from game 1 to game 2 was significant. If you remember game 1, Echo, Maelstrom, something like that, all into DPS, and he was a true carry. In the second game, he literally went for Blink and Lotus. Just keep that Medusa as healthy as possible. So
Yeah.
I really like the 2 sides of him in both of these games.
Well, showing a lot of versatility, and I guess showing why a team like Fnatic wanted to pick him up last season, because he was always one of the standout players for this team, even if it didn't work out when he was playing for Fnatic. But here, Motivate.Trust are, they get the second win of their DPC season, the week where they have to play 2 series, so they're going to be happy with those results. And that wraps up today's Division 1 Southeast Asia action. So to wrap up everything we saw, we're going to go to a break and come back with the panel to wrap up today's games.
Back. Just watched the end of that series, and Motivate.Trust looking as strong as ever. Still, they've only taken games from the teams that we don't consider within the top 4, but it's a good warm-up for them. Now 2-0 Execration earlier this week, and now 2-0 TNC as well. Sheeple, why is this team so good? I know you have a belief in them.
Well, I certainly think that Jackie is like the centerpiece of their team in how they are so confident on these few heroes that they pick for him. And he always ends up delivering really strong on them. I think it's, incredibly strong to be so influential that enemies have to first phase ban your carry heroes, and being so good that you can just first phase them in general is like, wow. And they're so good at playing around him and doing as much as they can to enable him. This game on Medusa, he farms so hard. His net worth skyrocketed, and that's all because of players like Masa and Fearless. They're just running around making kills. Queen of Pain is ganking bot lane at level 5 to get a kill. They're just doing everything they can to set up this game to be as nice as possible.
Yeah, I mean, this game did not start. It didn't look super good for MTG off of the laning phase because the OD won that mid lane, and the Quap was like the last in the net worth, and part of the reason, he was making those moves around the map. But he, by the end of the game, he was second in worth. He recovered so well, and importantly, not just his own net worth, but he stopped Young God from being able to farm a lot of situations, and that just means the Dusa, look at him, he's over double his net worth of the Drow. There was just nothing you could do against this Medusa at some point.
Yeah, there was a moment where it just seemed like TNC just stagnated completely. They had no space in the map to farm. They really couldn't take any fights. And you say, oh, but they have a good core-to-core matchup, Dusa Drow. Yeah, but that's only if you're not half the cold that Dusa has. Yeah. Even with a Mars, you can't cover for that. And there's an OD as well in the match. You wouldn't believe it, but there was one.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing about this. Drow, if you think about her, she doesn't do anything if there's a hero on top of you, right?
Yep.
OD, Meteor Hammer build, you don't do anything if you can't get the Imprison Meteor Hammer combo off. And then you've got Treant Protector, who can sometimes, his team fight impact is hit or miss, right? So
as a penguin,
so you've got 3 different ones, and it's just unless you're really good at being able to play around this draft, I think you're going to lose a lot of team fights. That's kind of what happened.
The reason I mentioned the Pango is because we actually have an interview with the Pango player.
Wow.
Masaros. I know.
Lucky.
Exciting. So let's go to the interview with Masa, as he calls himself now. Oh, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, hello. You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. How are you after that
Okay.
win? Second 2-0 of the week. Pretty excited.
Yep. I think I'm feel like it's good to get win on this 2 round, and we need to keep winning.
Right.
I think.
Did you feel like the challenge? Do you feel like the challenge is yet to come? Do you think the other teams
No,
are?
not yet.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Let's wait for next match versus SMG. I think it's so challenge.
That's the big one.
Yeah. Shh. No, I talk with my teammate. He keep talking.
We appreciate it.
Not with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Being a Pango expert, we're actually having a little bit of a back and forth talking about because it turns out we're all Pango fans here on the desk. Oh yeah!
Oh, God.
Look at those muscles, baby. Sorry, the Pango. How do you feel about Pango right now in the meta? Are you a fan of the shield crash buff and what's kind of happened with him from switching swashbuckle and the strength of shield crash lately?
I think shield crash. I mean, you can max shield crash first because it's buff, right, and it's strong in the lane. And when team fight, when you level 7, it's so strong. It's like cooldown and cooldown. It's yeah.
Yeah.
And first spell is like it does impact later, but the impact is the corrosion plus the second spell. And when the Pango no counter hero like Brassseeker, Bane, something is like it can win easily. Yeah, something like that.
Did you feel like they're giving you too many free Pango games? Like no Bloodseeker, no Grimstroke, nothing against you?
Yeah, something like that. It's like play so easy.
Okay.
Yeah, because no hero counter him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't. Do you remember in game 1 when you took that fight bot and you all died as a team? Yeah, it was a big throw.
Yep.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
That's sort of like a demotivating fight because of the chain feeding. How do you guys come together after that? Like, what are your communication like to get the game back?
We thought we still can fight, but it's they have ward, so we just come one by one, and we just think, yeah, we're strong, we can fight, but we keep dying one by one, get spear and die. Yeah, and we feel like stop it and reset again.
Okay. Who makes the
Yeah, I
reset
mean-
call?
The captain boom bell. Yeah, reset, don't keep dying, something like that.
Good captain.
reset, yeah, and we come back again.
Well, do you have any last questions here, guys?
No.
No?
I'm pretty good.
I'd like to ask you, I always ask the teams this. How are you going to
Yeah.
prepare for SMG? What's your schedule looking like to prepare against them?
How we prepare
Yeah.
for them?
What do you do? Any rituals?
I think we need to learn their strategy from replay, maybe, and maybe need to ban like Bane, Shaker, Luna, something.
Okay.
Ban-
Ban
strong.
Luna.
Yeah.
Ban Luna, yeah.
Banner
Yeah.
Shaker, yes.
Yeah, Earthshaker Afu is strong.
Yeah.
That we watch. Yeah.
We wish you luck in that match. You looked really strong in the last 2 matches, and we hope to have more of you here. Because you might hate interviews, but we love interviewing you. So.
Oh, wait. What? Pardon?
We love having you here, man. Well, your team is very loved in this panel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I
awesome.
mean, let's cheer us until the end of DPC.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No, we won't hate you even if you lose. It's fine, dude. that's not gonna change. Don't worry about it. Thank you for coming here on the panel. Always lovely having you, and good luck in the next matchup. Congratulations again. Goodbye.
Okay. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, they're all so nice on that team. I like them a lot.
I just got ignored by a pro player, and I'm putting that on my checklist. That's pretty great.
First they cry in front of you, now they're ignoring you.
I'm putting all the negatives first.
This guy sucks.
You're going to get a reputation with all the pro players. You don't want to see Ava when he shows up. Either make you cry, you lose, or
If you-
you're gonna have to ignore him.
If you hear Avo out of breath, this is not a good time. Now we see the standings here. Motivate.Trust, the only team to actually play that. Well, them and TNC, the only teams to play 2 games, and that's why there's a 2 next to their names. Motivate.Trust getting 2 2-0s, and TNC Predator getting 2 0-2s. Not the best standings for them.
I just want to point out before I forget about this, OD 0% win rate in all of the upper division so far.
Check this between games.
Yes, I checked all the regions. It has been picked once in a couple different regions, yet to be able to win a game. So I hope people stop drafting this hero.
Is it the hero or the player?
No, it's the hero.
Is it the hero
Oh,
or
wait,
the
were you flaming?
All
you
I'm
flaming
saying
Yoe?
is, if Motivate.Trust drafted Outlaw Devourer this game, I think we would have seen a little cheeky win on the hero.
Or maybe they're at where they're at, and they are good as they are because they understand not to draft OD.
Damn, I never thought of it that way, actually.
You know, Sheeple,
I concede.
I'm glad you talk about players because players are important in these leagues.
Yes.
And rather than trashing them, we'd like to select the most valuable ones. This is
Yeah.
why we run a weekly MVP vote. For those of you that are not American, don't understand what this means. It's the most valued player of the week. And if you're a fan of of X player, you should go and vote. But how? Well, very simple. You go to Twitter, and it's at SCA DPC League. And you can go, there's a Twitter poll right now, which is going to select 4 players that the oracles of BTS find to be the potential most valued player. The player that wins will win recognition and fame beyond fathomable limits.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I know.
Wow.
It's a lot.
I know.
Holy.
Yes.
That could boost their entire career. Like
Yeah.
being able to get that kind of confidence boost, you know? Maybe you get recognition from other big teams. Maybe
Yeah.
you get scouted out for, secret or something because you got MVP here at the Southeast Asian DPC.
Maybe like maybe 3 followers on Twitter.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
a
You could
whole
get so much.
graphic. There's a whole graphic made of you. There's a whole graphic
You
team
serious?
that will be staring at your face for a solid 5 minutes to make this picture of
I'm
you.
gonna go.
One of these players might even make it back on Team Secret if he wins the MVP.
And indeed, that's a very good segue because that is one of the players that you can vote for. The 4 players that are currently up for this MVP vote are mid 1 from SMG, it's Q from Motivate.Trust, Zephyr from T1, good old Kenny, and FBZ from Boom Esports. If you like any of these players, go to the Twitter poll and vote. If you don't like any of these players, go to the Twitter poll and then comment on it saying who you would like to be featured. Ideally, with a please, not an insult following it. Thank you very much.
I know I nominated FBZ, but I think I would actually vote for
Can't reveal who
mid-one.
the oracles
Oh,
are.
sorry.
Yeah,
An
holy.
oracle. I was talking to one of the oracles earlier. I
Oh,
think I would
no.
actually vote for mid-one just because the strength of the opponent is also a big thing. I think mid-one carried both of those games really nicely. So I also want to give him a little bit of praise after sussing him a little bit.
All right.
I can't believe Cap's gonna get fired
By the oracles as well.
if he's not on the stream tomorrow.
Well, we need to know what's on the stream tomorrow, not just if Cap is or not, but what games. And here we have the schedule for the day. Tomorrow, we're going to start with Div 2, not on this very channel, but on DBTS 2. It's going to be Bait versus CIS Rejects. Then following up, we're going up to Div 1. It's AS Monaco Gambit versus PuckChamp. This is hype, by the way. And then Virtus.Pro versus Hellraisers. Another hype matchup, but for different reasons. If you watched PuckChamp earlier this week and you like seeing Na'Vi cry, I do recommend you check out that replay. PuckChamp looking like a very strong team. And for Virtus.Pro versus Hellraisers, you're actually going to see one of the up and rising teams from Division 2 see if they can actually go toe-to-toe with the new Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, we get to just get a good gauge on whether or not the new Virtus.Pro is going to be as dominant as the old one. Because they did have significant roster changes and that sort of thing kind of affects the history. You look back on that team and you're like, who really made that team so strong in their own region?
You know who's going to be watching that game? It's going to be EG, seeing if they need a new offlaner.
That's true.
That's look at that carry.
Aw, I'm excited for a new VP just to see, because I was excited for new Fnatic as well, and we saw how that went.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Come watch. That's how you'll know. And for now, that's been it for today. I hope you enjoyed SCA. We don't have any EU matches today, unfortunately, but we did watch some great Dota. Remember to follow the channel, and of course, go to the Twitter poll now and vote for the MVP. For now, we have to say goodbye, and we'll see you tomorrow. Until then.